David.
Sure.
I want your top 5 Metal Gear moments. No particular order. Just I say Metal Gear, and you say these are the moments. I didn't point this out. He's Solid Snake.
Yeah.
Big Boss. Say Shadow Moses.
Shadow Moses.
Yeah. He's so good.
Yeah, you gotta chew on it, you know. The first one that leaps to mind is the death of Sniper Wolf.
Yes.
Which is an incredible. My friend Tasia Valenza played Sniper Wolf, and it was such a beautiful, moving scene, and Christopher Randolph is so good in that, and I'm really good in it.
Do you guys shoot them together, like on a soundstage?
Yeah. Well, we don't shoot them. I mean, well, now they're starting to do motion capture now that they've fired me, but the reason I have the best voiceover job in the world is that, I go into the booth for 4 or 5 months, and they just bring in actor after actor after actor, these amazing people, and we just do the scenes together. And and I requested, I was like, it's better to do them with somebody than to just do them on your own. You can react and you have these things. So I think when we did it, it was me and Christopher and Tasia all in the same room.
That's
and
awesome.
We just acted it out to the cutscene was already done, so we could see the snow falling and all that stuff, and it really, informs the performance there. So I love that. Just a small one I loved.
So this is your number 2? You're making it official?
Sure, number 2
there it is.
would be when, what's his name? Vulcan Raven says about the ear pulling contest, and I say, you want to pull each other's ears? Which I was like, that one's going to have an impact.
I'm going to remember that one.
Number 3, although this might be number 1 for me, I think my favorite Snake mission is in Snake Eater with the end, where you're hunting the sniper, the 104-year-old sniper, and you've got to use the directional mic to hear his snoring because he'll doze off, and then you come up behind him and shoot him in the head or whatever you're going to do. And but I loved how massive there were 2 areas for that sequence, and they were just huge, and you just felt like you were moving through the mountains and being stealthy and trying not to get killed, and I thought that was pretty amazing. Metal Gear 4, I loved the fight between Metal Gear Ray and Metal Gear Rex.
Sure.
If I get any of these wrong...
I was about to say, I was saying to my...
No. I mean, to the best of my recollection,
No, you're nailing it so far. You're
Rex.
doing really good, because this is complicated stuff. Metal
It
Gear's not
is.
easy.
Well, it's been, I was there. And then I think also in the end of Metal Gear 4, the final fight between Snake and Liquid Ocelot, where it went through the different scores.
Right. It's recapping every game.
Yeah, of every single game, and then going back to the initial score from Shadow Moses was really badass. And then I just saw this is sort of tied into that, but I had forgotten about this moment, but I was looking at a cutscene in preparation for this, and Snake is sleeping, and he's Solid Snake from the first game, and he's all polygonal, and then he wakes up and suddenly resolves into the beautifully rendered old Snake, guys. It was really, so there's some really cool stuff. So I mean, I think those are the 5 that leap to mind. But if you have any you want to ask me about, I'm sure I'll probably remember them.
Well, that's the problem. Is I think you're nailing them. You threw me off. I wasn't expecting you to ask me questions about Metal Gear.
What do you think about me?
I think you're awesome. And that's the real. It's Powers Whiskey. We'll talk about
Powers Whiskey.
No, I mean
when you don't know the people you're being interviewed by.
We talked about it a little bit on Up at Noon, but we didn't talk about, I guess, the scope or the ramification of the footprint of your body of work. You talk about this being your hobby. This was something fun you do. It's not my hobby.
It's my. I think it's best described as my side job. I take it very, very seriously as a job, and when I do it, I'm extremely committed to doing it well and to trying to, give the fans a proper experience. So I don't want to say hobby like I don't care about it because I do. It's just not my main career. I met David Goyer once. If you don't know David Goyer, he's a huge screenwriter, Batman movies, and directed Blade 3. I mean, he's does similar films to me.
Put those out of order, but yeah.
I did. I totally. Well, I don't know what
he did. Batman and Blade 3.
Yeah, but he directed Blade 3, so I know David would prefer that I bring that up. He did an excellent job.
Come on up in here, David.
But I met him, and somebody introduced us and said, "Oh, this is David Hayter of X-Men X2, and this is David Goyer," and so on. And the first thing he said was, he goes, "Hey, do you really do the voice of Solid Snake in the Metal Gear games?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And he was like, "That is the most badass side job for a writer I ever heard." And I was like, "Yes, it is." It's pretty awesome.
So yeah, the only question I have, I guess, is pertaining to this in particular. I mean, do you realize the amount of lives you touch on like a daily basis? And this is going to be you forever. You're like a Dave Fennoy, where you could retire and just travel Comic-Cons the rest of your life being Solid Snake.
I suppose. Listen,
a good way.
My goal was to touch as many people as possible in as inappropriate way as I could. Powers whiskey.
When you want to touch as many people as you can.
Listen, the response is insane to me, and I don't really do a lot of appearances or whatever, but when I go to Comic-Con or I just was at the Vancouver Fan Expo, just the amount of people and how excited they are is really very touching and cool. I'm very, very grateful for this job, and I'm glad that people like the games and like the character, and
awesome.
Hopefully I'll be doing it for many years to come.
If you didn't watch it up in Noon, we've got a whole campaign we're putting up right now. Tweet at all these people, say you want at David B. Hayter to be back, to be Snake in the next Metal Gear, and then hashtag up at Noon so they know where you came from. David, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. I don't know if you know this, Metal Gear Solid, my favorite game of all time, a tentpole event in my life where I saw where the industry was going and committed to it forever. Cool. And then Peace Walker, the best, my game of the generation, definitely my favorite review ever at IGN. I've been here 6 years.
Oh, that's awesome. I will say that the final scene in Peace Walker where he's just, asking the boss, why did you do it? Why, and he's just freaking out on this computer, which is not really the boss.
Right.
Spoilers. Was one of, sorry.
You missed your chance. I gave it a 9.5 when it came out.
The game's been out for 2 years, or however long it's been out. I don't know. I don't remember much. Powers whiskey. But that scene was really, emotional to record and one of my favorites to do. So I would also put that in as an addendum.
Perfect. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy David Hayter, make sure you go watch Up at Noon if you haven't already. We have great guests like this on every Monday here on IGN.com. You should come watch and keep doing it and find out why I wear these shoes and why I drink. I drink because I look like this, but the shoes you don't know about. Thank you so much. David, thank you.
Thank you, Greg.